What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliott Scott, and yes, as you can tell, I cut my hair. Okay, it was a pain in the butt. I did it. Here you guys go. If you saw me on Snap, if you have me on Snapchat, if you don't, the link's below, or it's just Elliott Scott Date, right? I posted a picture on there, but it had to go. Okay, it is what it is. But we're not about that today. We're about, as you can see the abbreviation here, EAST. I'm going to call this the EAST method on how to attract a guy. Now, before we get into this, if you can, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. Also, if you want to work with me, like a phone session, email session, or get my guides that help you get a guy, the links are in the description, okay? So I came up with this because I think it's a much easier way to sum up how to attract a guy. A lot of guys are talking about how to hot, cold, mind games. There's people out there, and not even dating coaches, just articles in general, right? On how to, to pull away, when to come back, all that kind of stuff. How to do it correctly to get a guy attracted to you. And I feel like a lot of people teach it wrong, and a lot of articles explain it very, very briefly, and don't go into depth on how to actually pull away and play these kind of games with the guy. So I'm going to go over it here, okay? And I think the easiest way to remember it is through this acronym, okay? Let's go EAST, okay? The EAST, we're going to jump right into it, okay? The E stands for exposure, okay? Now, what this means is, in psychology, there's a thing called the law of exposure, or the exposure effect. And what that means is, the more, or in our terms, what that means is the more time you hang out with someone in the beginning, the more likely they're going to like you. Now, disclaimer, I'm not saying blow up his phone, talk to him a lot and stuff like that. It should still be very normal. It should still be very casual. Don't try to see him 3, 4, 5 times a week. It should be very normal and very casual. Again, you have to balance seeing him and not moving too fast, okay, which we'll get to on down there. You don't want to scare him away. But what I'm trying to say is, what the exposure effect basically states that the more someone sees you someone's more likely to like you if they see you more, because obviously you have to build some rapport, some depth, some relationship, communication, chemistry with that person. And you cannot build a strong foundation with someone if you see them once a month. So for example, you could take your coworkers. You see your coworkers all the time. In the beginning you thought, whatever, I started working here, these coworkers are a pain in the ass, whatever. But over time, they end up being your best friends, or people in your class. You might not know a lot of people in your class, but over time, you end up building a relationship with some of them. Even if you don't talk to them a lot, just because you're merely being exposed to them, okay? So when people talk about hot and cold, this is kind of what they mean. You got to show your interest a lot in the beginning. That's why a lot of guys, and again, here's that chart again. I always talk about this. I said this like the last 6 videos. Guys and girls, they always show a lot of interest in the beginning, and then it dies off, okay? And what your job is to attract the guy during this stage, okay? Because obviously, you want to see him more and more in the beginning. Because if you don't, it's just going to kind of go like this, okay? Like you don't know where it's going to go. If you don't see him a lot, you don't talk to him a lot, or not even that, if you just don't hook him. So you want to expose yourself quite often to a guy in the beginning. And again, not too much. The best way to do this, I think, truly, the best way I think to do this so you expose yourself but you don't overdo it, is however you start with the guy. Let's say you just meet him online, okay? You text the guy a little bit, you make a date, and then when you go on the date, here's my magic number, like I said before. When you're on that date, you go to 3 different venues or 3 different things, okay? If you do that, from a psychological standpoint, it's going to act as if you had 3 different dates. This is studies. This is not me saying this. This is true shit. Male dating coaches teach this because they know it works. Through thousands and thousands and thousands of trials of them going out and hitting on women and pulling this shit, they found out that the more places you go with a woman on a date, and vice versa, it feels like different dates, okay? So what I usually recommend is going out to eat, then going to whatever you're doing, the dates, I don't care if it's mini golf, a movie. I wouldn't recommend a movie though. Bowling. I don't care what it is. A music thing. I don't care. Do something where you're interactive, and then after that, do something very casual. Go for a walk. Go run an errand. The way I always attracted women was, I'll take them out to eat, then I'll go do something, and then I'll say, before the night's over, I'll say, hey, can you come with me to XYZ real fast? I gotta go pick up something, or I have to go get something. I don't wanna do it tomorrow. Now that works because it feels very casual. It's past the, we're trying to win each other over, play this game, wear this mask kind of stage, and it's like, okay, this is how I am in real life. Like, I'm gonna go, my hair's falling on my face. I got to go do this, okay? Can you help me with it? Can you run it with me? You know, the woman might feel like, oh, he probably doesn't do this with every girl. You know, we must have something. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot more casual. It's a lot more authentic to go run an errand with me. Now, it sounds stupid. It's like, I don't want to do that on a date, but it works. Trust me. Now, I'm not saying you have to run an errand with him. If you want to go for a walk after, go for a walk after. But that works. Now, that leads to the second thing, which is attraction, okay, or attract. While you're doing this, you have to do that, okay? You have to attract. This, when you're getting exposed in the beginning, right here, is, okay, you're getting exposed, or you're seeing each other a lot in the beginning, but the only way it's gonna go up is if you do this one, okay? So you got to do that. And if you want help on that, get my value guide. My value guide talks about everything from building rapport, getting a guy to open up, the links, again, in the description, get a guy opening up, what to say, the pacing, all that kind of stuff is right here. So you gotta see him quite often in the beginning. Don't overdo it. Again, just like I said, go on a date, text in between a little bits, make a second date, whatever, or sorry, text a little bit, make a date, do this, give him some space, the text again, rinse and repeat, and just go with the flow. While you're doing that, hopefully you're attracting him. A third thing is obviously scarcity, okay? If you're doing these first two things correctly, right? You're giving him a good dose of loving, of you, basically, not real loving. But if you're giving him a good dose of exposure and you're attracting him, it's going to go up. But just like all great things, it comes to an end. Okay? Like I always say, I said this several times, even if you're in Disneyland, going to Disneyland every day will get boring, will get exhausting, will take its toll on you over time. You're going to start taking it for granted. It's not going to have that spark or umph like it used to, okay? And what you want to do is hit it right here. Now, I'm not saying literally time this perfectly, but you want to make sure it's a balancing game. You want to have fun, expose yourself in the beginning, but you don't want to do it too much because it comes down to supply and demand, okay? Supply over demand. If you are something that he wants and he keeps on getting it, he's going to take it for granted. That's just human nature. However, if you pull back a little bit and the supply, right, which is one of you, and the demand is him wanting to see you a lot, you're going to go up in value. That is how value is determined. Value is determined not only by the benefit something has towards a particular goal, which I talk about in my value guide, right? It's what you can offer him or what he sees valuable in you, but it's also the fact that he wants more of you, but he can only get so much, okay? And a lot of people try to play this hot and cold game, or this I'm gonna pull away, or I'm gonna play hard to get, all that kind of stuff the wrong way. They always do it on this end, right? They always do it on this end when it's going down. They realize, okay, it's going great, and they think, well, if it's going great, it can only keep on going great. We're having a fun time. So they're thinking it's going to keep on going off the charts. No. It's going to take its toll eventually, and it's going to die down. And when the guy pulls away, the women are thinking, well, the guy's pulling away, so I'm gonna play the game back and pull away. Wrong timing, baby, which comes down to the last thing, timing, okay? Let's not say time, but timing. You have to time it correctly. Again, it doesn't have to be absolute. It doesn't have to be like 5% off. I'm not saying that. Just go with the flow. Expose yourself in the beginning a little bit. Again, don't overdo it. Maybe 1, maybe 2 dates a week. Maybe 2. If it's 2 dates a week, it should be like Monday. Then the next time should be like a Saturday, right? So you should have like 5 or 6 days in between. when you're on those dates, attract. If you're doing everything right and he likes you a lot, then the supply and demands are going to be overwhelming, right? The supply is you having, exposing yourself in the beginning, and then you being very attractive and having attractive traits, limiting your red flags, all that kind of stuff. That's the supply you're giving him. The demand, he wants a lot of it, but you're like, oh no, bro, something happened, world catastrophe. I can only see you once in a while now, okay? And then that's where it's going to raise your value. So he's going to take more efforts. He's going to put more energy, time, loving, damn it, commitment, all that other stuff when you guys hang out. And of course, that comes down to timing. Again, you have to time it correctly, ladies. Just because things are going good doesn't mean it's going to go off the chart and keep that way forever, okay? There's always going to be a backup. There's always going to be a plug. There's always going to be something that stops it. And it's going to go this, and it's going to go that. Again, that could be other women. That could be you getting boring. That could be him getting the same thing too many times, him taking you for granted. You have to know how to play that time, okay? That's very important. So to wrap this up, again, you want to expose yourself a little bit, show a little loving. You want to attract him on that time, okay? You have to, ladies, just because you see him a lot and you think you're having a fun time does not mean you're having a fun time. You have to build that sexual tension, that chemistry, that rapport. You have to be different than other ladies, okay? Then when it's going up and he's liking you, the supply and demand, you got, equals value, right? You got to pull away a little bit, ladies. You got to pull away a little bit. Just like a guy pulls out when he's about to bust. When a guy pulls out, hey, you got to have that timing, okay? You got to have that kind of timing. When a guy's about to bust and he pulls out, you got to have that timing, okay? You don't want no babies, and he doesn't want all that extra shit, okay? You want him to chase you. So timing is everything. You have to know when to say nope, so it doesn't dive off. When you say no, it goes like this. It's like, then when you see him again, it goes like that, okay? Because he realizes how fun he had originally. That's what you want it to look like, okay? Not like this, okay? Not like that. That's not good, okay? So, and this is when women try to pull away on this side, and it never works. You always want to do it here, okay? Like I said, maybe here. That's not even questionable. Like, that's no chance. Do not do it there. Right here when it's at its peak, right before its peak. There, too early, okay? So he has no idea. Again, that's too early. You're exposing yourself, not attracting him enough right here. That's way too early. He has no idea what he's investing into. So right there, if you do these things correctly, you will get the guy, ladies. Again, sorry about the haircut. I had to do it. It was just a pain in the ass. I probably have to change my name. I think my name on my what's it called? Social media. No, not just my Snapchat is man bun. I've put like no man bun now or something. I don't know. But that being said, ladies, let me know what you think in the comments below. I love you. Take care and peace.